Good morning. Welcome back to the Higher Grounds podcast. This is your morning minute meditation for this morning. I'd like to call your attention to the book of 2 Timothy. In 2 Timothy chapter 4, the Apostle Paul is penning down his last recorded sermon, his last recorded epistle. This is a pastoral epistle he is writing to the young pastor Timothy. Chapter number 4 is familiar with the Apostle Paul. He's going to Nero's chopping block. And so we know the statements that Paul makes in this text, that I fought a good fight, kept the faith, I finished my course. What a testimony it is to finish your course, the course that God's given you. So the Apostle Paul mentions finishing his course in this text. But in this text, he is encouraging Timothy to come unto him shortly. He tells Timothy some instructions, said, when you come, bring my cloak, bring the books, but especially bring the parchments. And so I want to call your attention to two men in this text. There are several men that Paul mentions in 2 Timothy by name. And so when he tells Timothy to come to him shortly, he says, you bring John Mark with you. He's been profitable for me in the ministry. So I want to contrast these two men, Demas and Mark. The Apostle Paul tells Timothy, come unto me shortly. He gives him the reason why. He says, for Demas has forsaken me, having loved this present world. If you'll study Demas' life out in the New Testament, you'll find he's mentioned 3 times. So Demas is a man who started the ministry right, but according to our text, he finishes wrong. John Mark in our text is a man who started the ministry wrong, but he finished the ministry right. See, when John Mark got started in the book of Acts, he had, on Paul's first missionary journey, he went back home. He quit. We don't know the reason why. And so when Paul mentions to Timothy about bringing Mark with him, they have been reconciled. He's repented. He had got things right. I make this statement often in our church. A lot of times people may not know how you start. They may not remember how you start, but they will remember how you finish. So from the Higher Grounds podcast, I want to encourage you, child of God, finish well.